Okay, this time let's create another layer on top of this. This is our current yellow or color layer. Now I'll create, for example, a material layer on top. I'll get directly a material here. So here in this material library, I can type in, for example, metal. Example, I'd like to have this metal rust layer there. Oops, undo, Control Z. I will click hold and drag it for it to be a separate layer, and it is going to be on top of this. Now, as you can see, it is just like this layer. See, there are parts of it, but only this one has also the settings available. So now I can change the color of this. For example, I'll just make it a bit more dark, and then let's say I am okay with that for now. Now I would like this I would need, or I will be making this metal rust layer appear only on certain portions of the object. So what I'll do next is I'll just select it, and then I'll choose a mask. So here I'll just choose add black mask so that it is hidden, and then I will just go here in the mask. I'll add an effect, and then in the effect options I'll choose add generator, and then in that generator, as you can see, after you have added the black mask, it is not visible anymore. Then I'll add the generator here in the generator slot. I'll just click this, and then I can choose metal edge wear. After I have clicked the metal edge wear, there it is. It is now appearing here on the edges of my model. Again, the edges will depend on your UV. It is reading that information. So from here, I can now just adjust some parameters such as the wear level, and then I can also adjust the wear contrast, or depending on what you would need, the grunge amount, or even the grunge scale. So far, this is okay with me. So the next thing that I will do now is, for example, I would like to add some dust or dirt onto this work. So how are we going to do that? I can add another layer, but this time I will just choose a simple color layer. So I will just create another color layer here, top, and then let's say I will color this here in the base color. I'll just color it a little yellowish gray there, and then I can turn off the rest so that it will just be mainly a color. It's just as if it's going to be like a dusted color there. Now for this, again, I will just add another mask, a black mask. So it is on top of the dust, but it is now not appearing because it is masked. And then in the mask, I'll add another generator, and in the generator options, I'll click. In the generator list, you can have this. There is what you call a dirt. The dirt mask generator allows us to have it positioned accordingly, and then we can adjust the level of the dirt that we would prefer, even the grunge amount of it, how distorted it can be. edge masking. I can increase that, or I can just leave it as it is. So here, oops, not that, this one. So again, this is going to be up to you. Let's see, let's increase that scale there. So far we have those effects on our object. So I will name this the dirt dust example. So I have a dust. Now let's say this color that we have added, let's increase that a bit. No, I will duplicate this layer. I will try to mix the color. For example, a portion of it is going to be like faded, and then a portion of it is not going to be, or a little bit more saturated. So what I can do is I can name this, for example, this is going to be yellow fade, and then I will just right click and have it duplicated. No, you can right click the layer, choose duplicate layers or Control D, and then there it is, named accordingly. So what I will do here is I will change this to yellow saturate, and then here on the yellow saturate I will click and make it a bit more vibrant, a bit more new looking here. Now that we have added the yellow saturate layer, the next thing that we will do is we will click that layer, and then we will add a black mask. The black mask will allow us to still see the original yellow fade layer. The next thing is I'll click this black mask that we have added, and then what I will do next is I will go to my add effect, and then I'll choose add generator, and while the generator option is being clicked, I'll go to my generator options and click the position generator. Once the position generator has been created, look carefully. This is the saturated color, and this is the yellow faded color. But just to be obvious, I will click this color layer, and then in the color layer I will just change its color for now. So as you can see, there it is. Next, I will go back to the mask layer, and in the mask I will go back to the position, and then in the positions, now look closely as I adjust the global balance. For example, if I drag it to the left, the faded will be increased, or if I drag it to the right, the saturated color will also be the one increasing. I can invert the position. So for example, I will have the faded one on top and then the saturated one at the bottom. So that's what I will do. I will invert it. I will go back to the color, and then I will reset this back to the yellow saturated version. So for example, this, let's say here, there, closing it. So here it is. For example, if I would like to further, let's say this saturate further the yellow, so that it will appear here that in the mask, in the position, for example, the faded portion is on the top and lower portion is more saturated. So I can increase the contrast carefully there. Excuse me. So I have created several effects for my mask. So for example, this is my yellow color set for this object. Okay, so for the next lesson, I will try to separate them by materials. I'll see you on that lesson.